Ramble. Engage. Ooh. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Ramble. I came up with some names last time. Nothing has really stuck in my head, so I'm still figuring that out. Ramble. Chapter 2. It was a chilly April morn when Hasbro decided to do their next Star Wars live stream. You know me, Star Wars. Oh, it's my bread and butter. And while it's not always the most exciting journey, there's always something to look at, or something to talk about, good, bad. And hey, you can't have your goods without your bads. And I want more Star Wars goods. How's that? I was actually setting up for a Star Wars review, but with the live stream just happening, there's stuff on my mind. There's stuff wanting to escape. In fact, I started the review, and all I kept thinking was, oh man, those new figures, what's going on there? So that'll wait for another day. I'm gonna get my thoughts on Hasbro's Star Wars Black Series reveals from the Fan First Wednesday, April 6th. 2022. I haven't gotten used to the 22 yet. And this is just the Black Series reveals because that's all I collect. I have no clue when it comes to vintage stuff. I don't know what's out, what's been out, what's happening, what's going, what's coming. I don't know. So sticking with my beloved 1/12 scale, the first Black Series reveal was Saw Gerrera from Rogue One. And I'm not gonna lie, boys, I really like this. This is what I pictured in my head. This is what I wanted. My Rogue One display, well, after the re-releases with the upgraded photo reel, is really shaping up. It's really filling out. Even has the clear rubber tubing coming around for the mask part, and the other one running back around the other side, and the mechanical bits, and oh, you're not a true Star Wars fan, but I guess I didn't realize that he had a cyberfoot in the movie. But now the walking stick and the way he walked makes a whole lot more sense. And I've had my gripes about the deluxe releases, but in this case, with Saw Gerrera, he's such a unique look, I don't mind it coming in a bigger box with a higher price point. Just seems like a slightly larger character. The paint apps are at least consistent. Sure, there could probably be more wear and tear, some dirt, some grittiness, but the paint apps where it needs to be, the silvers and everything, it works its way from head to toe. And then, of course, the unique sculpt. And when it comes to the deluxe figures, again, I can kind of justify that when it can't be used for anything else. It's for this specific. And I realize there's mainline characters that fall into those same parameters, but even then, like Ponda Baba, maybe it comes from the Luke, and maybe you can use an arm here or arm there. Here, there's no possibility. I mean, okay. I just realized you could probably put a bald head on this and call it like Jedi Fallen Order Saw Gerrera. Still, it has an air of deluxeness, you know, unlike the last few Boba Fetts we've seen. I don't want to bring those up. Now, when I first saw the back shot with the cape, I thought, ooh, I'm going to need some soft goods. But given the design and the way it drapes, and it does look nice, and really, I'm never going to display Saw sitting down. So standing in the display, standing in a dio, standing with action shots, I can live with this. This is okay in my book. And just like the other deluxes, this is going to be available for pre-order at most retailers. I'm recording this on Wednesday, right after the live stream, get my thoughts out there. So I'm not quite sure what the release date. I think they said winter 2022, which is before some of the stuff they've already shown earlier in the year. So who knows? Then they moved over into the gaming greats, which are GameStop exclusive, which makes sense. It's a game store. You want to put your game characters in a game store. Or GameStop's just, hey, we have our sweet spot, you know, can you give us something that appeals to our customer base? And that's the gaming greats. And with that, they are continuing the Republic Commandos with Sev. I think I've said this a few times, but I have no experience with Republic Commando. So when it comes to these guys, it's just, you know, dudes in trooper gear with different paint schemes. But I can totally understand the frustration from you hardcore fans. Even when I picture it in my head, given the pictures I've seen over the years, they're supposed to be bigger and broader and thicker and dirtier and grungier. And I would probably be even more interested in these if they did look like that, if they did have unique sculpts, if they did kind of stand out in a trooper crowd. But, and I always hate to bring this up because it sounds like I'm making excuses for Hasbro, but it is established that they take the animated characters and the video game characters and throw them through that reality filter. That way it fits in with the rest of the display, which is mostly based on live action. Your movies, your TV shows, whatever. Even with Bad Batch, they made it fit onto your shelves, and I bring that up because this reuses most of that body. Which also makes sense because, was it Scorch and maybe even Boss that appeared in Bad Batch? And when they appeared, it was essentially Bad Batch armor in Republic Commando color schemes. They did have the shoulder pads to kind of bulk them out, and they've tried to do the same thing with the figure and the helmet. It adds some top weight, but then it gets skinny in the middle. It definitely has a thinness to it. Really, when it comes down to it, they're saving money with body reuse. As a casual observer, on the outside looking in when it comes to Republic Commando, I'm good with these, but I'm also a trooper junkie. So you give me something that looks consistent, but it's individuals, then, oh, I'm in. And I say I'm good with them. I haven't actually opened Boss yet. That's one of the reviews that was coming up. It looks cool, but again, I can see it. And to reiterate, I totally get it if you're not into it, you know? Because it is a bit of a drastic change for those who have grown up with it, remember it from your childhood, have wanted these figures for years. Gaming Greats means GameStop. That's US and Canada, and then Zavi in the UK. Again, pre-order tomorrow. I'm recording this Wednesday. And then they got into what they call the publishing program. And I call it the, hey, let's try to get some expanded universe into the Black Series line without saying it's expanded universe. At this point, I don't know what's canon, what's not canon. They can bring anything back anytime they want to. It's just characters that don't fit into the main line. For people who have read the comics, want those looks in action figure form. But again, boiling it down is just an easy way to get reuse out of main characters and get them out again. Plus, I've been reading the comics lately, at least the new Marvel stuff. I read the Bounty Hunter Wars and the time between Empire Strikes Back. And I'm working my way through the regular series. I started it a while back, but then I started back with the issue where Black Chrysanthemum and Obi-Wan fight on Tatooine. I haven't went back and read the Infinities series, and that's where this white Darth Vader came from. And it is crazy how changing one color can make a figure look completely different. Now, don't get me wrong, it's Darth Vader painted white, okay? But with that brighter color scheme, you can see even more of the sculpt details that's lost when it's gloss or matte black in the shadows. And looking at the figure, you can tell what the story's about, right? I'm guessing it has something to do with Darth Vader's redemption. It's odd not to change your armor into something less intimidating, a little more rebel-friendly or light side friendly. Because this, even in the white color scheme, I still don't want that popping out of the shadows at me or turning a corner in a hallway running into that. Oh! And then there's also the matter of the red lightsaber. A blue saber here with Darth Vader's hilt against the white color scheme. Oh, that would have been sweet. But there's also some nostalgia to this, some warm fuzzies. I've never read the story, but back when this first released, my sister-in-law gave me this for Christmas. At that point, I was already on to bigger figures. It was after Marvel Legends, was this DC Universe Classics, and I had already gotten rid of my 3 3/4 inch Star Wars stuff by then. But this white Vader popped out at me, and I thought, well, that's kind of nifty looking. I'll put this away. I'll put this in a tub, and it went through storage units and on racks and out in the sun. There's still some heartfelt sentiment here. So to get it in 6-inch, hey, now I can look at my display and go, Christmas is past. Ooh. Next, they showed Princess Leia in her more, I don't want to say tactical gear, but this is her action gear from the comics. And I haven't read the Princess Leia series yet, but I've seen covers and I've seen pictures, and I've always thought, ooh, I want that on the shelf, especially after we got several versions of Hoth Leia or Bespin Leia. I thought you could just put boots on her, some gloves, and the vest. I was hoping for the vest. I guess that appeared less than the cape or the cloak or whatever. A Star Wars custom down the drain, but I'm okay with it because the additional boots and the gloves, they look great. It could probably be argued that the suit in the comics was more skin tight, more Padme feeling than Escape from Hoth feeling, but this still totally works. Again, I was planning on making it like this anyway, so I'm already happy. I wish the hair was more like the comics though, a little bit more laid down, more modern, I guess. I'm not quite sure if this head is reuse with the hair pulled back and they added a different piece on top, or is this for something upcoming? And then the holster rig, I can use some of those. I'm going to end up with a couple of these because one, I want to replace that plastic piece around her neck. And then two, there's more custom potential beyond a Leia. So yeah, I'm down for this. And then finally, as far as actual plastic being shown, there is Sergeant Kreel. Oddly enough, like I said, I started the main Star Wars series back up at the Tatooine story. So I missed, or when I need to go back and read the Game Master stuff. But Sergeant Kreel is in the arc I'm reading right now. So seeing this, I thought, hey, I just read one of those issues last night. When it first flashed on the screen, I thought, oh, hey, man, they just took a new school stormtrooper, put a pauldron on it, gave him a lightsaber. But there's actually a new torso and a new jetpack for the back. So, oh, and then the straps around the forearm and down on the leg. A little more effort than what I was expecting. You get to a point where you're like, well, if it's reuse, they're just going to throw some paint on it and put it out. A little effort is always appreciated. And he can do a pretty good saber pose. I am happy with this. It's funny that the Stormtrooper gets a green lightsaber, the redeemed Darth Vader gets a red lightsaber. Plus, I'm a fan of the new Stormtrooper mold. Getting this as an individual character, which we don't see very often when it comes to Stormtroopers, that makes me happy. And again, fresh on my brain. So seeing this, it makes me think, are we going to get more Scar Squadron? Some more Task Force 99? Then as they've been doing, they ended the live stream with some pipeline reveals, which is essentially, hey, you're going to get this sometime in the future. I wish they'd go the G.I. Joe Classified route where they show the actual renders, some progress, something that looks action figure-y. When you just show pictures from the shows, in one ear, out the other. When it comes to me, I gotta see some toy. For Grogu, they said it would be the first time in the main line. I don't know if they don't consider the exclusives or the smaller package part of the main line itself. I guess technically it wouldn't be, but I'm guessing this is going to be in a standard size box, and then they said goodies. So come with the pram, come with some accessories, maybe the bowl. Hopefully they fill out the package enough to make you think, well, I guess that's worth $25. I'm more excited about Miggs from season 1. That means that he's in his black gear, maybe the gun on the arm coming up over his back and double pistols. This is what I was hoping for. I'm okay getting the trooper disguise Mayfeld, but this is what I wanted. So, yeah, I'm waiting for this one. And that was it. And I don't say that with the intention of, hey, I'm not excited about any of these reveals. But I feel like they're on a narrow path right now. They're trying to catch up with Mandalorian. They're doing the publishing stuff, which is essentially reissues of figures they've already done, just with some tweaks. But I think what gets most people excited are the full waves, where it's picked from different sources. And it's also been a little bit since they focused on the original trilogy. We need to get our, Lobots and our non-nums and our Cantina aliens. Good old school stuff that didn't come out how I was thinking it in my head. Maybe some prequel Jedis. It's not as far-reaching as the line once was. And I say all this with the last wave being Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazin. They're also doing this monthly, too, so there's going to be little tidbits, little morsels. Even though, what was this? 4 or 5 figures. I just want to get all that off my chest. It helps me process the new reveals in my head. Oh yeah, this is why I feel this about this, and this is why I'm excited about that. And a longer version of what I'm gonna talk about again in the weekly. It's too late to tell you to wait for the weekly if you're wanting something less long-winded. So here's the disclaimer at the end of the video. If you enjoyed this ramble, this kind of just sit down and look at some pictures, comment, like, subscribe. Much love to the plus. If you're interested in seeing videos early or in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Fwoosh. Now I have to decide if I want to open this little Vader to compare to the big Vader. The package is looking nerf herdy and scruffy. Oh man, I shouldn't have looked at the back. We need a Talon card and a Prince Shizor. And I'd even buy a Leia in her disco gear. I don't know who Grand Moff Trachta is. Trachta? Let's get past white suit Vader first and see where... Oh, I just noticed too that he's got blue eyes on here and it's silver on the 6-inch.